My dear students, how are you? Hope you are all fine. Welcome to my YouTube channel, English Teacher. In today's class, we are going to read John Brown by Bob Dylan. And I would like to request you to subscribe my channel, to press the bell icon, as well as share my content with your friends. And if you have any questions regarding the poetry, you can fill up my comment section, and I would love to give all the explanations that you need in the comment section. And at the same time, I would like to tell you that the way I love to read you poetry, make you read poetry, is that I would like to change the aspect, the way you read poetry, the way you have read poetry before. And it would help you in pursuing good marks in the examination hall. And at the same time, you can write down the broad question as well as the short questions very well if you read my content. So, let's start the proceedings. As we all know, John Brown, it was written by Bob Dylan. So, who was Bob Dylan? Bob Dylan was a Nobel laureate, means who won the Nobel Prize in the year 2016 for his outstanding contribution in creating poetic expressions. As I would like to also request you to know about something about Bob Dylan. So who was Bob Dylan? Bob Dylan, as I told you before, was a Nobel laureate who won the Nobel Prize in 2016, and he for the literature and his poetic expression. Actually, John Brown is an anti-war song. What is an anti-war song? Anti-war song is generally one of such songs that deal with the futility of war, means that speaks about the spoils of the war, one way or the other. And at the same time, this poetry has a deeper sense of pacifism. What is pacifism? Pacifism is a Gandhian principle that used to tell people that war is nothing but the futility. Gun can bring no civilization. Gun and war can only bring decay and destruction. A sense of brotherhood is described as in the form of pacifism. Pacifism is a sense of fraternity or brotherhood among the world, that we all are brothers and sisters. Generally, if we look at the content of John Brown, what would we find? We actually find that his songs are generally easy to follow, but it has a deeper inner meaning underneath. Generally easy song written in general rhyming, but it has deeper inner meaning. And he has the habit of using the American folklore tradition, means American local dialect, American local language in the song. If I tell you, as in the expression of telling, you can see on the screen, as well as like such example, telling, neighborhoods, neighbor, all are like the examples of American form of local dialect of speaking English. He has the tendency of using that in his content as well as in his poetry. Okay. So, as I mentioned you before, it is one of the anti-war lyric. It is actually the story of an American mother who sends a son whose name is John Brown to war, and the sends where, doing where, it is one of such foreign lands. Actually, the mother of John Brown sends him to in war, and it is one of such foreign lands. And this song follows the young soldier and his mother's lives, how their lives transforms after she sends the war. As well as the poet here helps us in seeing the fact that it is the question of nature of war. Why is war very much possible? Is war very much necessary for our life? Is war the integral part of our life? Can we not live without war? All these questions are there. The writer actually helps us in understanding that war is nothing but the futile action. War means futility. The very nature of war here is questioned by the poet as well. So actually, if we look at the proceeding, this song was written in 1962. This song was written in October 1962, and actually it is one of the famous poems. This is a poem, all right, but it is written in the form of songs as well. It has a typical poetic meters that depends on the as I told you before, vocal changes to establish poetic expression. It has a vocal issue as well. It has a colloquial term as well, as if mother is speaking to the son, and like mothers speak to the son, his son. The same example is followed by the poet. It is a local dialect, local expression. Okay, the poetry has the accent of Midwest area of America. Midwest area. The setting is as if the Midwest area of America. Okay, it has one of the major melodious tone. It is a harmonious poetry as well. It has a internal rhyme. The rhyming are not correctly matched here. The rhyming are not correctly matched here, but it has a tone of melody. It has a melody and harmonious melody. It is. Means, what is melody? Melody is actually a fine tune of song. If it can be sung in the form of this poetry can be sung in the form of song, it will create certain melody. Okay, so now we are coming to the stanza wise explanation. I would like you to tell that it has certain 12 like stanzas. It has almost 12 stanzas, and we are now coming to read the first stanza. What is the first stanza saying? As you can see on the screen, that John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. It is actually the stanza that is starting with the war. As I told you before, the poem is a questions on the possibility of war. Can war bring peace? On the question on the existence of war. Can war bring peace? So the poem is starting with the very first line is starting with the theory of a war. What is it is saying? It is saying that John Brown is going off to war on such a foreign shore. He is going on a foreign land, means away from home. Foreign shore means away from home. His mother, in the next line is saying, his mama sure proud of him. Means his mother was proud in sending his son to war. Means his mother was ignorant enough not to understand that war brings nothing to his son. War will bring nothing to his son. But his mother was boasting enough. His mother was very much proud. That is saying that his son has become an army or a soldier. In the next line we see that he stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. What does the word straight and tall means? Straight and tall here refers to the stout and resolute boy. What does straight and tall refers here? Stout and resolute boy means he stood straight and tall in his uniform, means he was a stout and resolute boy, and he was in the uniform of army. And all was there. All was there means his bodily appearance was very stout. Okay. And at the same time he was wearing his uniform as well. And here uniform is also the indicative of the fact that his mother's pride in him. Means his mother took pride in the uniform of the soldier. Means suppose a doctor has a uniform that is in the form of medical uniform, or a lawyer has a uniform. In the same way, a soldier has his uniform too. His mother took pride in the uniform of a soldier, as if his uniform symbolizes his son's power. His mama's face, as I told you before, the use of American dialect, here the poet is not saying his mother's face, he says mama's face, as if a sense of ownness, a sense of inertness is there. His mother's face broke out all in a grin. Here grin refers to the smile. His mama's face means his mother's face, broke out means was expressing all in a grin, means a laughter. His mother has a pride of laughter in him, and his mother smiled in bidding farewell to his son. So as we come to know about the first stanza, if we analyze the first stanza, what do we come to know? That it is the story of the establishment. It is establishing the pattern of the story. It is saying that a soldier is going to the warfare, and his mother is very much pride in the uniform, is stout, resolute young boy, and his mother is taking pride regarding the war. and as well as his son's appearance in the war. In the next stanza, if we go, we would like to see, we would able to see the fact that, "Oh son, you look so fine. Oh son, you look so fine." It means his mother is praising the boy. His mother is saying that his son is looking very fine. "I am glad you are a son of mine." Means his mother is very much pride. His mother is taking pride in his son. His mother is saying that I am a lucky enough woman that you are my son. You have to notice the expression here. His mother is so proud that he is saying that I am a pride enough mother that my son has become one of the soldiers in the army. He is expressing how proud he is for his son as his son is going to the warfare. "You make me proud to know you hold a gun." It is one of the most important lines in the poetry. "You make me proud" means his mother is saying to the son that, "My son, I am proud." Knowing that, to know means knowing that you hold a gun means you are a soldier. Hold a gun refers to the soldier. Means you will fight in the war. It will make me pride. It will give me pride. I will be a boastful woman. I will be a pride woman. I will do boasting, saying that my son is one of the soldiers in the war. Do what the captain says. Then his mother is addressing his son, saying that I would like to order you. Do means here is the example of order. Do what the captain says. You should always follow the advice of your superior. Here captain refers to the superior. Mother is saying to his son to follow the advice of his superior. Lots of medals you will get. Means if you follow the advice of your superior, of your captain, of your major, then you will be gifted with a lot of medals. And we will put them on wall when you come home. When you are coming home, I am going to put it on the wall as an expression of the heroics of my son. So, his mother is, here is what this line is signifying. His lines are signifying that his mother is here ignorant enough to understand the realities of war. She has a firm belief, she has a strong belief that his son is going to war and his son will come back without any harm from the war. His son will come back like a hero in the war, like a hero from the war. But he is not knowledgeable enough to know, or she does not have the knowledge to know that the war might take away his son. This war may harm his son. But she is not ready to believe that. She is believing that his son will do heroics in the war. And when he will come back, she will do what? She will put all these medals on the wall. Here, I hope you have understood the line as well. Okay, now we are going to the third stanza. Third stanza is saying that as that old train pulled out, John's ma began to shout. As that old train pulled out means as John Brown is leaving his town, leaving the station and leaving his mother for the war in that old train, his mother is bidding farewell to him. What his mother is saying? His mother began to shout, means his mother is bidding farewell to his son. Telling, as I told you before, it is the example of American local dialect, local usage of the southwest part of American dialect. Telling means he is telling his son, telling everybody. Telling means telling, T-double-L-I-N-G, telling everybody in the neighborhood. When his son has gone, his mother is began to shouting. What she is shouting? She is telling everybody in the neighborhood. She is shouting in the neighborhood. She is telling everybody in the neighborhood, means she is saying everybody in the neighborhood. What she is saying? She is saying that that's my son, that is about to go. Look, who is going in the train? He is my soldier son. He is about to go. About to go where? about to go in the word. Look how ironical it is. You will find in the later parts of the poem how this will change into a curse for her mother. That's my son, and that's about to go. He is going to the war. He's a soldier now, you know. You know, my son is a soldier. As if the words are justifications of how proud his mother is. How proud his mother is in making his son, in seeing his son in the uniform of the soldier. She made well sure her neighbors understood. She is again saying it to their neighbors, meaning she is actually making all his neighbors understood the fact. She is compelling everybody to understand the fact that his son is one of the soldiers in the war. Now she is a proud mother. Now she is a proud mother. Now she has the pride in being a mother of this son. So in verse 4, if we look at the verse 4, that we will find that she got a letter once in a while. Her face broke into a smile. Now, the verse 4 is saying us that she got a letter once in a while. Now, the scenery is seeing us that, scenery is making us see that, or making us seeing that the son has gone to the war, and from war she got a letter once. One day her son wrote her a letter, and her face break into a smile. Her face break into a smile refers to the fact that she was smiling, that my son is a soldier. As she showed them to the people from next door refers to the neighborhood. She saw it. She actually brought the letter to every neighborhood, seeing and making them seeing the fact that his son is a soldier. His son has become a soldier, and from there he is sending the letter. And she bragged about her son. Bragged means brag. The word brag refers to the fact that boast. Boast means saying big words. She now started to brag. She now started to brag means she now is starting to boast about her son. Pride is another thing and boasting is another thing. Boast means saying big words, saying melodramatic words, saying exaggeration of words. With his uniform and gun, she bragged about her son. About whom she is saying big words? She is saying big words about her son. And with his uniform and gun, regarding the uniform and gun, actually uniform and gun are those great feats that his son has achieved according to the mother. See here boasting about the what? In front of the neighborhood. What she is boasting about? About his son. And these things you called a good old-fashioned word. So his mother is praising these things you called a good old-fashioned word. His mother is praising, saying that this is how wars should be fought. This is the actual event. This is the actual war. This is the actual aim of our life, to send our son to the war field. Oh, good old-fashioned word. Means as if his mother is trying to say that an event has been organized as if, and my son is one of the leading parts of the event. He is failing to understand here that the knife with which she is cutting, it may take away her son's own life as well. The war with which the war and his son, for which he is boasting, is the war and his son, for which she is boasting, will actually end up taking her son's life, can actually end up taking her son's life. Oh, good old-fashioned word. It refers to the fact that it is a good old-fashioned word, means this is how wars should be fought. This is the actual word. My son is one of the leading parts. How boastful the words you are, you can see here. Now, we are coming to the next stanza, saying that then the letters ceased to come. Then the letters ceased to come. For a long time they did not come. So here is a difference from the line before. In the line before, we have found that his son was sending letters to her mother. Now the letter is not coming. For a long time they did not come. It was a long time the letter had not come to her. They ceased to come for about 10 months or more. Now here we are seeing that the letters are stopping. The letters are not there coming for her mother, and it has now passed 10 months. Then a letter finally came saying, go down and meet the train. Means go down and meet the train. Now finally, after a long wait, his mother found a letter, and in the letter we can see what is there in the letter. In the letter there is a writing saying, go down and meet the train. Means you go down, you go there in the station and meet the train. Means you should meet the train, you should catch up the train, because what? Your son is coming from the war, because it is the time of your hero son, of the son and his heroics to come back from the war. Actually, from this line, there is a ray of hope. There we can find that we can imagine that his son might have broke all the records of the war. His son has coming with all the medals in the war. Actually, it is not that. We will find next how those boasts, how those hope of the mother will be transformed into a mere stupid imagery, will be transformed to a mere stupid wailing of a mother, mere stupid crying of a mother. Your son's coming from the war, means your son is coming from the warfare. What would his mother understand? His mother would understand that my son may have done heroics, and I will boast with my son. I will boast regarding my son, saying that how a heroic my son has created. How I am proud to be a mother of such son. She smiled and went right down. Here smiling in the next stanza, you can see the verse 6. If we see the verse 6, we will find that she smiled and went right down. Smiling about his son's heroic, she went right down. She went there to see her son, as there is it is written in the letter that his son is coming. She looked everywhere around, and there she was not ready to wait for long. She was looking here and there for her son, but she could not see her soldier. She could not see her soldier son in sight. But she could not see her soldier son in sight. But even after a long wait, she was not able to catch up her son. But as the people passed, she saw her son at last. But after all of the people who have traveled in the train went down, she found her son. In what situation she found? When she did good, she could hardly believe her eyes. When she did refers to the fact that when she found her son, she could hardly actually is the example of negative. Means she was not able to believe what she saw in her eyes. Actually, it is the use of climax. Climax is the example of figure of speech in which we say it is one of such ladders in literature. Ladders mean it is one of such ladders as we use. It is the ascending order of the example of importance. Means from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have reached the uppermost criteria of the poetry. Now we have reached such a point from where the poetry can only go down, not go up. It is the highest possible scenario that a mother can experience here. That it is the lowest possible scenario rather a mother can experience here. And it is, you can say, it is an anticlimax as well, because his mother may have hoped that she would able to see her son in the stout, resolute form that she bid him in that form. She bid him farewell from where he had left the station before. But alas, she would not able to see the son with such expression that she would love to see. Okay, now we are going to the verse 7. Actually, these lines is the example of this phrase, or these expressions are the example of this stanza. Stanza number 6 is the example of the use of climax. Now, what we can see, even in the seventh stanza, it is also an example of climax as well, because the poetry is now reaching the height that it is actually the poet is wishing to. Actually, the poet is wishing the poem to reach that height. Now the poetry is reaching that height. Through these 6 and 7 stanza, this and this 6 and 7 stanza, what do we find? We will find the use of climax. It is the starting of climax, and now it is the uppermost area of climax we can find in the 7th stanza as well. Now, it is the worst possible scenario that a man can see. Her mother has gone to the station to find out his bold, resolute son coming back in the hope of finding bold, resolute son with the heroics of the war. But in the 7th stanza, the climax even is reaching the most important part. His mother will see the worst possible scenario of a son that a mother can hope for. Oh, his face was all shut up. After all those passengers who have went down from the train or from the station, she is seeing that his face was all shut up. Shut up means gloom, bleak, dull, like that. And his hands was all blown up means his hand was all blown up, means one of his hands has been blown up in the war, means one of his hand undergone a physical harm in the war. His face is gloom and his hand was not in the proper order. One of his hands are not there. And she wore a metal brass around his waist, means his son has to wear a metal brass, a use of scratch around his waist to walk around. He whispered in a kind of in a voice she did not know. He whispered means he is saying to her mother in a low and slow voice, means actually when we are speaking to our family member, it is not hoped that we would speak in a slow and low voice. If we speak in a slow and low voice, what would it refer? It may refer that we have been panic stricken. We may have been frightened by something. Here it is the same. He whispered in a kind of low, in a slow. He whispered in a kind of slow, in a voice she did not know. The voice was slow as well as low. And even the mother was not possible to know the voice. She did not know refers to his mother is even unable to recognize the voice of his son. While she could not even recognize his face, even the mother who have given birth to a son is unable to recognize the face of his son. How the war has changed his son, how the war has demoralized his son, how the war has done physical harm to his son is the example it can be found in this stanza. That is why I have said that if stanza 6 is the example of climax, it is also an example of upper state of climax. While she could not even recognize his face, she is not able to recognize his son's face. You have to remember the irony here. A mother who have given birth to a child is not able to understand how his child has undergone, what change his child has undergone. Oh Lord, not even recognize his face. She is not able to recognize the face of her son. Now his mother is telling, oh tell me my darling son, oh tell me my darling son, pray tell me what they done. Now his mother is saying to his son that in disbelief, obviously she is in disbelief, she didn't hope her son to be in such, as she boasts about his son. Now she is telling in utter disbelief that my dearest son, pray thee, I pray to you, please tell me what they done, what has been done to you, what has been done to you, why are you in such a position, why I have not been able to recognize your face, how is it you come to be this way, how you come to be this way, means how you are like that, why it has been done to you? Who has done it to you? He tried his best to talk, but his mouth could hardly move. He tried to explain to his mother all the miseries of the world, but he was not able to tell her mother so. And the another had to turn, face her away. And the another refers to her mother. Her mother too had to turn her face away. Mother was not able to see her son in such a condition. Look, how miserable of a condition that can be tolerated by the mother. It is one of the miserable conditions that no mother loves to see her son to be. This means a war can do this. A war can even change a son, even take away a son from her mother, even change the index of the face. Face is the index of mind. Face is the index of heart. Even the face, that is the index of heart, can be changed. Even the mother who has given birth to the son is not able to understand what the condition of the son, is not able to understand the change in the son, what has happened to her son, the way her son has been brutally tortured in the war. She is not, that is why she is not able to understand her son's face. She is not able to recognize her face, his son's face. That is why she had to turn her face away. Don't you remember, Ma, when I went to her? Look, as I told you before, it is one of the expression of the colloquial English. Don't you remember means his son is now saying to her mother, Mother, if you are not remembering, do you not remember when I went up to her, means when I had gone to her, you thought it was the best thing I could do. You told me that there is nothing better in the world than to be a soldier. I was on the battleground and you were home acting proud. While I was fighting in the battle, you were in the home acting with pride. Acting proud money, acting with pride refers to the fact that his mother was acting very much boastfully. His mother was pride in his son, took pride in his son. That is why his son is making mockery of his mother, saying that I was in the battleground. I know what has happened to me. You will never come to know how of a torture, how tortured I was, how distorted I was in the war. And the result you are seeing, the way that is why you are not able to recognize my face. Even you are my mother, even you have given birth to me, but you could never able to recognize the face because of the war. The war can take away son from his child, take away son from his mother. Thank God you wasn't there standing in my shoes. In the next line, he's saying that I thank to God that it was I, it was not you. If it were you, you would not be able to tolerate the hearts of the words. Why we use were in the third person before, after the third person singular number? It should be was. Where actually refers, the use of where in the third person before the third person singular number, after the third person singular number, the use of where refers to the fact that the hope of impossible, it becomes possible. If I am imagining something that is not possible in the right time, but as if it is going on in the present time. That is why use of where has been there. It means that I thank to God that it was me, not you, fighting in the war. If it were you, you would not be able to tolerate the hearts of the war. Oh, and I thought when I was there, God, what am I doing there? Oh, I thought when I was there, God. I was there fighting in the war. I thought there, God, what am I doing there? When he was fighting, he was thinking that what is the need to fight? He then came to realize the fact that it is not the word that is the actual result. It is the example of pacifism or the brotherhood there. Oh, I thought when I was there, God, what am I doing there? Why I am fighting? I am in a trying to kill somebody or die trying. Means trying here refers to the fierce battle. In a battle to kill somebody, in a fierce battle to kill somebody. But the thing that scared me most, actually, what didn't made him afraid? What didn't make him afraid? By which expression he was afraid? The thing that scared me most, he was afraid by what? Was when my enemy came close. One day, when his enemy came close to him, oh Lord, just like mine. He was just like him. Means he was just like him. His enemy even has two hands, two eyes, two ears. This is actually the expression scared me most is ironic and satiric in tone. Delivers a stern message regarding the reality of the war. Actually, pacifism refers to the fact that war is nothing but the festival of the warmongers, where they love to kill each other's enemy, and then they would do a meeting, calling the meeting up or calling the peace treaty, where everything will be the same and they would gain some money, but the soldier will be lost. The soldier, a son from his mother, a wife from his a husband from his wife, will be taken for their warfare. That is why he is saying that I saw the face look just mine, not the grenade, not the gun that tormented me. I was tormented by the face. I was tormented by the face of another soldier. See, he's just like mine. He's just like mine. Just like I am the son of yours, he too may be the son of other mothers. Oh Lord, just like mine. He was nothing. He was just like mine. He didn't look to be my enemy. He didn't look to be that. He was just like mine. But the war have tormented me to kill my counterpart. And I couldn't help but think through thunder rolling stink that I was just a puppet in the play. Now the soldier is coming to understand that I couldn't help but think through the thunder rolling and sting. Now the thunder and the cannon that was coming helped him in moving away from that philosophical thought. Now he was becoming too philosophical in the war. But actually one of the grenades came and he now broke his reverie, means it broke away his daydreaming, means the way he was dreaming, now it was broken away. He now started to think about the present. What he was thinking, that I was just a puppet in a play, means I am just a puppet, means a playing doll. Here soldier is compared with the puppet. It is an example of metaphor. What is metaphor? In the figure of speech, we say that metaphor is an explicit example of comparing two different parts of things into a same similarity. Puppet does what? A puppet is the doll who actually obeys the order of his master. In the same way, a soldier has to obey the order of the superiors. It is the same ironic tone that his mother was saying in the first line or in the first stanzas, in one of the stanzas, that do what your major says. You have to do what your major says. It means you have to follow the senior. And now the soldier has come in the realization that he was just a puppet. He was nothing but a doll in the play of the war. In the play. It is not a war. It is actually play. It is the got up game. And through the raw smoke, the string is finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes, means through the roar. Now all those cannonballs and fireballs came, the bullets broke my stream, broke my reverie. What I was dreaming, it suddenly broke. As I turned away to walk, his ma was still in shock as he turned away to work. After saying all this, after finishing all this, John Brown started walking to his mother. His ma was still in shock. His mother was not still able to made her believe what has done to her, what torment my son has realized. Her mother was in a trauma as if. And seeing the metal brass that helped him stand. And in contrast, the way she sent her son in the warfare and the contrast with which he has returned, he is not able to stand in her own. A young man has to use a metal brass in standing, was giving her mother shock. But see, as he turned to go, he called his mother close. Now he is calling his mother, saying that he dropped his medals down into her hand, saying that it was the medal for which you have given me the prize of going to the war. You have requested me to go the war, took all other medals. But the author is raising the question that can a mere medal, an empty token of pride, which is an example of empty token of pride, worth the suffering that the soldier went through? Can a pride replace all the sufferings that a soldier has to come through? The soldier even cannot even stand from his own. The soldier cannot even remember how beautiful his face was. His mother even is not able to understand his face. Is understand the child. All is the horrors of war. All are the horrors of war. But in return gift, what did he find? He did find only a medal, which is the example of empty token of pride. So actually the poem is saying, the author is trying to say that the damage and the pain that he has carried through the war can never be replaced with the empty token of pride that is a medal. A medal can never give back his youth. The way youth has been tortured, the way all the youths are tortured in the war, can never be replaced by only mere medal. So I hope you have understand. Goodbye. Stay safe. May God bless you.